All right, beautiful people. Thank you for showing up again to another one of my awesome sessions of the world's greatest living artist. And I got my Starbucks to prove it. Yummy. All right. Today I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to do an abstract. Why? Because I can. Number one. Number two, it allows me, as I've mentioned some other times, it allows me to get out of my comfort zone and it how would you call this? It creates it promotes, I guess you would say, it promotes awesomeness. It promotes awesomeness. It does, you guys, it does. It really does. I promise. So, check it out. Hey, I want to thank all of you who are subscribing. And please do, if you find some awesome stuff here, share with your artsy friends or non-artsy friends. Share with people that are into the arts. Or people that just simply love cool stuff. I don't know. Share the love, you guys. If you guys find something cool here. If not, it's cool. Don't share me. Keep me for yourselves. So I'm pretty excited about some stuff that I've been working on lately. Working on a one-man show. Yeah, one-man show. That's pretty cool. That's kept me a little busy. That's why I haven't been showing up as often, you guys. I apologize for that. I really do, because I love showing up, but there's only one of me. So, and I get to not just share what I do here, also, but I get to sort of dive into the creative with myself, into the creative process, because I'm just here alone in my studio, and as I'm talking to you guys, which is very weird because I'm just talking, it's a little freaky to talk to the camera and no one's there. But as I'm talking to you guys, I get to go a little bit more into what drives me. I see, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I never thought about that. Or yeah, that's weird. It's crazy that I'm thinking about that right now. And that kind of stuff. So if that means anything, it's worth saying. And that's just kind of how I roll. Roll like that. It still rolls like that. I'm going to show you guys one of my preferred methods of what do you call this? One of my preferred tools of the trade. This tool is so awesome that I don't think you can find it just anywhere. I think that if you were to look for it, it'd be pretty difficult to find. I think so. I think that some tools, some artists have to really look for certain tools, and I think that's this, what I'm about to show you is one of them. I think that if you go to any art store, I'm sure they're not going to have it. Okay, but I don't know. Try it. Who knows? Bam! It's called cardboard. I'm I'm sure that I pissed one or two of you already. Oh man. You know, so often we take this stuff so serious that I don't know that I just think that if you were to go into, I'm sure that you've had, some of you had, go into artist studios, not artists that do like a painting here and there, and they have developed a very delicate skill. Okay, that's a different type of artist. Like I'm talking about like artists who are like I don't know. I'm not gonna say any names because I like some of those artists. I really do. But you know, artists that develop a really good skill. You know that all they do is nudes. Let's call it that, right? Or all they do is still life, or you know, and they've developed a very clean cut, very thought out, you know, very well presented skill. That's different. But if you go to an artist who's like, I don't know, that type of, you know, like me. Some artists who are just kind of all over the place and don't really want to stay, you know, tied to anything. You'll find some strange methods of working. I met some really good artists, in my opinion, who work in the strangest ways and with the strangest tools. And the application of their work is very matter of fact, but they don't take themselves serious. The artwork is serious, but not them. If they were to take themselves serious, maybe it's outside the art, kind of like a Picasso or you know those type of extremely super ego type of artists, right? That are very serious. But if you see the documentaries, you know, Picasso or any of these artists who left those gems of documentaries that we can see, at least a little bit of them working, you can see that they work like blue collars, like blue collar workers. You know, it's not this. They don't have a seriousness to it. You know, but they themselves were serious. So I don't know. Sometimes I catch myself being, you know, very serious and often when I'm not painting, because you guys see me here, I'm just having a blast. But sometimes I'm like, man, why is my life not like this? It should be like that, you know, that kind of shit. and then I have to remind myself, dude, when you paint, you're totally cool. You know, when I paint, I feel like I'm that. Maybe that's why I paint so much, to calm my shit down. I feel like that turtle from Finding Nemo. Dude, he's always so calm. He's always, you know, super zen, grounded. That's one of those cool words people are using. He's so grounded. You know? But if I'm not painting, I'm not always like this, you guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, dang it, where? Like everyone else. But painting has that effect on me. Has sort of this magical effect that allows me to rest a little bit, to rest the mind. You know. And these videos, these videos really allow that for me. Where I'm like, dude, don't take it so serious. If you take it serious, something bad's gonna happen to you. Like you lose your mind. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And check this out. Check this out. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Check this out. Bam! Why? I don't know, you guys. It's just part of it, you know? It's part of it. It feels right. There's no textbook that says this. There's no textbook that says any of this stuff. You know, it just feels right. It's like do this, dude. Do it. And I just fall under the spell, and I'm like, I will do it. I will do it. And it's okay. I will be granted pardon one day in a celestial court. Somewhere. I will be left off the hook. There's only one life. My mother used to tell me, there's only one life, and most of us spend it being too serious. Too serious. We try to nail it right, and before we know it, it's gone. It just goes by, you know, bye. But we're so adamant that, you know, we need to nail it. What is the best way? What is the right way? What is the ultimate way of, you know? I want to be the ultimate. I want to do things the right way, and I'm not saying we shouldn't aim for you know, for being better and all of that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm always studying new stuff, new techniques. I'm always working on my craft. I'm always doing different stuff. I'm not saying not to. I'm saying for us to not get lost in it, because it's so damn easy to get lost. It's so easy, if you're an artist and you're not selling artwork, it's so easy to get negative. You know, if you're an artist who's learning how to, you know, create artwork, it's so easy to get disappointed and you know, just say this is not for me. But it's not that it's not for you. It's just that it's not right. You know, it's not ready yet. It's not right. That's all it is. You know, but it's so easy for us to lose focus and focus on the negative aspects, where there is nothing there for us. There's absolutely nothing there for us. I know that I'm always joking around and whatnot, you guys, but the reality is that the world is already, it can be, you know, depending on how you see it. But if you start looking at news, and again, not to say not to be informed, but if you start looking at news, you start looking at world events and all these things that happen in the world, it's so sad, you know. It'll mess with the. It's so subtle that we can't tell, but it messes with the way the quality in which you hold your brush, the quality in which you pour yourself a glass of water. It messes with everything, because I'm not trying to be all hippie here, but we are emotional beings, you know, and our emotions, our state of mind, right, which is our emotions, because that's how our state of mind is driven by whatever came first, right? but it has an effect. We can't deny that. And that has such an effect on us that it affects all the quality of everything. How we carry ourselves at work, the things we say. You know, it carries with itself that's why I try to be very careful what I watch, what I listen to, what I hear. And my family sometimes thinks I'm a bit, distant, or sometimes the way I see things. Um, but the reality for me is that I don't like to engage in anything that has to do with drama. Not because I'm afraid of challenges, but because life itself is already full of that. And you don't need to put more on top of what it is already. The life itself is a constant challenge, and some people have it worse than others, depending on how we see it. Life itself is that, right? Depending on if you're fighting a economic challenge, if you're fighting a physical challenge, marital, or whatever it is. Life is already that. And looking at news more often than you need to, talking about negative stuff, that shit's just not gonna cut it. It's not gonna help. It's just not gonna help because nobody needs more of that. That's one of the reasons I love Pierre Renoir. He used to say something similar to that, and I resonate very much with his way of seeing the world that way. He used to say something along the lines of there already is too much. The world is already. I mean, these guys were every period there's a freaking war. Someone's dying. Something horrible is happening, and in most of us, I believe, we're caught between. How do we respond to this? How do most of us don't even respond, which is react. Do I feel, I'm not a human if I don't constantly talk about it and feel some sort of strong empathy, or I can't stick my head in the sand either. So we're stuck in this middle where you need to or want to, for the sake of humanity, want to feel empathy, and at the same time, or want to be empathetic, right? And at the same time function in your day to day. And especially with social media, I sound like one of those people. Especially with no, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just connectivity, but it's accessible, right? It's so accessible that you can no longer be like, oh yeah, my grandpa read about that in the news, in the newspaper. It doesn't work like that anymore. You are bombarded with it. It's unavoidable if you are not extremely careful. Nowadays, I think you have to be extremely careful. Otherwise, you will be a victim of the extreme news and extreme broadcast. And it's so difficult, I think, for human beings, for us, because we are emotional beings. I think it's it's like the wings of. I remember reading this from one of my favorite authors. Used to say that he said that if a duck fought another duck, and they had a problem in the pond, when they both left, they both flapped their wings to release the excess energy of the confrontation they had, right? We don't do that. We don't have that superpower. Like dogs shake, right? You see how dogs shake? Well, we do it if you suffer from anxiety, right? You shake at night. that I know a little bit about. But we don't normally do it. It has to be extreme energy for us to shake it, right? To release it, right? We don't normally do that. We wait for till we can't bear it anymore, And the problem as human beings, I believe that we do it with the people closest to us, and usually the people closest to us are the people we're supposed to love. And we kind of just, we see something bad in the news, we hear something bad, or we read something, we see something in Facebook, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're looking at your spouse wrong or your friend wrong, and you're like, wow, what the hell? What's the problem? But there's no problem, or vice versa, right? There's no problem. It's just that you have drank nasty water. That's how I call it. You've consumed, and it doesn't mean that it's not relevant or important. It is still nasty. It's nasty water. That's how I see it. And now you are sick, right? In your mind. So, anyways, I realized that one has to be very careful to what we see, the kind of stuff that we consume, and that is one of the reasons. If you, I don't know if those of you who see my Facebook or not have followed me on Facebook or Instagram. I try to put positive stuff. I'm always talking about put artwork. Try to share something else other than gossip and this constant stuff, because I do believe it has a great effect in the psyche. And I'm sure I'm not. Of course, I'm not the only one. But we fall prey to. We don't mean to, because it's there. It's so easily. Now we have to be so much more vigilant of that, and that's one of the reasons I like to constantly share positive stuff and little paintings like this and stuff. I mean, why not? It's you see something like this, it might trigger something in your mind, as opposed to some inspiration, as opposed to seeing something negative, right? Anyways, I'll leave you with that, you guys. I just threw some cool spiel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this. I know you can't tell the background from the. Maybe I'll just go like this. Take care, you guys. Till next time. All right. Cool.